This was supposed to be our paradise, but then something went wrong. The process we've used to terraform this new planet is now ripping it apart, and we've got to get out. We've got to build a colony ship to get off this planet before it destroys itself and us along with it in Cysmic, which was designed by Jason Blake and published by Starreach Games, who helped sponsor this video. Hi everybody, my name is Nick Murphy of the Brothers Murphy, and we are here with Board Game Geek. Well, I feel a tremor beneath my feet, and that's never good, so let's get this game down to the table to go a little more in focus on Cysmic. In Cysmic, players will be taking on the role of asymmetric factions fighting for the failing planet's minute resources, all in hopes to get enough blueprints to build their colony ship and get the heck off this planet. The game takes place on the planet board, which is broken up into different landscapes, and the players will be deploying soldiers, miners, and speakers to gather what they need and battle their opponents. Each round, the player will place a card face down above the leftmost space on their player board. They will then play one of their cards face up on top of it. This face-up card determines which actions the players will take that round. On the bottom of the card are colored symbols, and after the actions on the card are resolved, the player may take bonus actions from the ones beneath where their card was played, matching the symbols on the bottom of their card. Everyone has the same set of 10 command cards, and you will activate them from top to bottom. They have 6 unit cards, one for each type of unit. Soldiers and power mechs are your fighters and are mainly used during combat. Miners and harvesters are rolling around gaining crystal ore, which is how you pay for your colony modules and upgrades. Speakers are out gaining influence, which dictates how many troops you can have. They're also claiming territory and switching the troops you have for the ones you need. And finally, your colony ship will move slowly around the board and construct the ship modules it needs to evacuate. And once this is done, you need to get all your troops back to your ship so you can leave the planet first and win the game. When one of your combat troops moves into a hex with other units, you are locked into that hex and you will initiate combat. This is done with your soldiers and power mechs. You will then engage in combat later when you or your opponent plays the battle command card or activates certain red bonus actions. When you engage in combat, you will roll the yellow or red dice based on what troops you have, and the blue strike dice if you're the attacker and the green die if you're the defender. For each die rolled, players may play discovery cards to increase or decrease the die result. In combat, players are trying to defeat and capture enemy units. These will then be negotiated back to the player in exchange for blueprints to ship modules. Though if a player is next to an enemy colony ship, they may attempt a cyber attack and steal a blueprint directly. On a later turn, when you have some enemy troops in your holding, you may want to play your negotiation card, which allows you to trade resources with other players and gain their blueprints. If you have 2 or more troops of an opponent's, they must trade you a troop for their blueprint. When doing so, you will flip over the corresponding color blueprint from its missing side to its acquired side. You then can use your colony ship card to build this blueprint into a ship part, and this gets you one step closer to leaving. You may have noticed on various cards and dice that there is this tremor symbol. The planet is ripping itself apart, and every time you see this, you will slide the track of tremor tokens on the activity meter. When it gets to the end, you will draw a fracture event token and part of the planet will get destroyed. And as the game goes on, fracture events will happen more and more often. Throughout the game, players may also gain relic cards, which will be persistent abilities, discovery cards, which will be used as events, actions, or reactions to what's happening, and espionage cards, where players will choose which side to use, exploit to help themselves, or sabotage to hurt everyone else. At the end of your turn, if you have all your ship modules built and you have all your troops in your reserves, you will launch and win the game. If you don't have all your troops, you can roll the humanity die to see if you're willing to leave any behind on the planet. But beware, as any you leave behind will be noted, and in the next game you play, you won't have access to those troops. You did leave them behind after all. And that is a quick look at Cysmic. Cysmic is all about trying to get what you need as fast as you can and get out of Dodge. You need blueprints from each player, so you're gonna have to attack them either physically or through cyber attacking, but you also need to mine crystal ore so you can actually build the parts that you need. And you need your speakers out there claiming territory, so it's easier to deploy your troops and change them to what you need at that moment. And you're trying to do all this as fast as possible so that you can leave first. And if Cysmic seems like a game you'd enjoy, make sure to check it out on Kickstarter now. And until next time, I've been Nick Murphy, and we've been going in focus on Cysmic. Have a great day.